For as long as human beings have looked up at the night sky, we have wondered whether we are alone. The stars have always inspired curiosity, fear, mythology, and imagination. In ancient times, strange lights in the sky were interpreted as gods, spirits, or omens. Today, we use a different language. We call them UFOs, or, more recently, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. But the core question has never changed. Are we witnessing unknown natural phenomena, advanced human technology, or evidence of something not from this earth? Ufology, the study of unidentified flying objects, sits in a unique space between science, mystery, testimony, skepticism, and belief. It is not officially recognized as a scientific discipline in the traditional sense, yet it continues to attract researchers, journalists, military officials, scientists, and millions of curious people around the world. The subject has evolved dramatically over the decades. What was once dismissed entirely as fantasy is now being openly discussed in government hearings and mainstream media. Although stories of strange objects in the sky date back thousands of years, modern ufology truly began in the mid-20th century. In 1947, a private pilot named Kenneth Arnold reported seeing 9 fast-moving objects near Mount Rainier in Washington state. He described their movement as resembling saucers skipping across water. The media quickly picked up the story and introduced a term that would define an era: flying saucers. Just weeks later came the Roswell incident in New Mexico. Debris discovered on a ranch was initially described by the military as a flying disc, only for the statement to be retracted and replaced with the explanation that it was a weather balloon. That sudden reversal sparked decades of suspicion and conspiracy theories. For many, Roswell became symbolic of a larger pattern, the idea that governments might know more than they admit. During the Cold War, UFO sightings increased dramatically. The United States Air Force launched Project Blue Book to investigate reports. Over 12,000 sightings were analyzed between 1952 and 1969. Most were eventually explained as aircraft, balloons, astronomical objects, or hoaxes. However, a small percentage remained officially unexplained. While the final report concluded there was no evidence of extraterrestrial technology, the fact that some cases could not be identified kept the mystery alive. At the same time, tensions between global superpowers raised a practical concern. Could unidentified objects represent advanced foreign technology? National security considerations ensured that the subject would never be entirely ignored. In the 1960s and 1970s, the narrative expanded beyond lights in the sky. Reports of close encounters and alien abductions began to emerge. Individuals claimed they'd been taken aboard unknown craft, examined by non-human beings, and returned with missing time. One of the most famous cases involved Betty and Barney Hill in 1961. Under hypnosis, they described detailed encounters with entities that did not appear human. Skeptics suggested psychological explanations, such as sleep paralysis, false memory formation, or cultural influence. Supporters argued that similarities across independent accounts pointed to something more significant. Regardless of interpretation, abduction stories became a powerful part of modern UFO culture. Another major element of ufology involves secrecy. Area 51, a classified military base in Nevada, became a focal point for speculation. Officially used for testing experimental aircraft, its extreme secrecy fueled rumors of hidden alien technology and reverse-engineered spacecraft. While no verified evidence has ever confirmed such claims, the secrecy itself contributed to public suspicion. In matters of national defense, governments often conceal information, and that lack of transparency leaves room for imagination. In recent years, the conversation around UFOs has shifted dramatically. Military pilots have reported encounters with objects that appear to move in ways that defy conventional aerodynamics, sudden accelerations, rapid directional changes, and no visible propulsion systems. Some of these encounters were recorded on advanced sensor systems. In 2020, the United States Department of Defense officially released several videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena observed by Navy pilots. The terminology changed from UFO to UAP, perhaps to distance the subject from decades of cultural stigma. Government officials have acknowledged that some sightings remain unexplained after investigation. This does not mean they are extraterrestrial, but it does mean the phenomenon is taken seriously at the highest levels. Science approaches the question differently. Astronomers point out that the universe is unimaginably vast. The Milky Way galaxy alone contains hundreds of billions of stars, many with planets in habitable zones. Modern telescopes have confirmed the existence of thousands of exoplanets. Statistically speaking, the probability of life existing somewhere else seems high. This leads to the famous Fermi paradox. If intelligent life is common in the universe, why have we not detected clear evidence of it? Possible explanations range from the rarity of intelligent life to the difficulty of interstellar travel. to the possibility that advanced civilizations deliberately avoid contact. Some speculate that civilizations may self-destruct before mastering long-distance space travel. Others suggest we may simply lack the technology to recognize the signs. Skeptics of ufology argue that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Human perception is imperfect. The sky is filled with natural and artificial objects, satellites, drones, aircraft, meteors, atmospheric distortions. Optical illusions and sensor limitations can produce misleading images. Throughout history, many famous UFO cases have eventually been explained. For skeptics, the lack of publicly available physical evidence of alien craft remains decisive. They emphasize that mystery alone is not proof of extraterrestrial visitation. Believers counter that absence of publicly available evidence does not equal absence of evidence. They point to whistleblowers, classified programs, and decades of testimonies from trained observers such as pilots and military personnel. They argue that if advanced technology were recovered, it would likely remain deeply classified for national security reasons. The debate often centers not only on what is known, but on what might be intentionally hidden. Psychologists and sociologists add another layer of interpretation. They examine how cultural context influences UFO narratives. During periods of technological anxiety or geopolitical tension, sightings often increase. Science fiction films, television shows, and media coverage shape expectations and imagery. The typical description of extraterrestrials, large heads, dark eyes, slender bodies, became popular after certain cultural portrayals. Some researchers suggest that UFO experiences may blend psychological phenomena with cultural storytelling, creating narratives that feel intensely real to those who experience them. Yet even with skepticism, some cases remain puzzling. Highly trained observers have reported structured craft performing maneuvers beyond known capabilities. Advanced radar systems have tracked objects exhibiting unusual flight characteristics. While most incidents eventually receive conventional explanations, a small fraction remain unresolved. Unexplained does not automatically mean alien, but it does mean incomplete understanding. Technological advancement may soon provide clearer answers. Artificial intelligence can analyze vast amounts of flight data. Improved satellite coverage reduces blind spots in the sky. Civilian smartphones capture high-resolution images instantly. Space agencies continue searching for biosignatures in the atmospheres of distant planets. If microbial life is discovered on Mars or on one of Jupiter's moons, it would demonstrate that life can emerge more than once within a single solar system. That alone would significantly increase the probability of life elsewhere. The possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence carries profound implications. Philosophically, it would challenge humanity's sense of uniqueness. Religiously, it could inspire reinterpretations of doctrine. Politically, it could unite or divide nations. Scientifically, it would open entirely new fields of research. The question is not merely about visitors and spacecraft. It is about humanity's place in the cosmos. Ufology persists because it represents both a mystery and a hope. It reflects our desire to explore, to connect, and understand. It also reflects our fear of the unknown. The sky above us is no longer empty as it once seemed. Thousands of satellites orbit the Earth. Space tourism is becoming a reality. Private companies launch rockets regularly. The boundary between science fiction and science fact continues to blur. At the same time, caution is essential. Critical thinking protects us from misinformation. The internet allows rumors to spread instantly. Fabricated images and videos can appear convincing. Responsible investigation requires patience, transparency, and rigorous standards of evidence. It is possible to remain open-minded without abandoning skepticism. Ultimately, ufology is less about definitive answers and more about inquiry. It invites us to question what we know and acknowledge what we do not. The universe is vast beyond comprehension. Our planet is a tiny speck orbiting an ordinary star in a galaxy containing billions of others. To assume we are the only intelligent life form may be as presumptuous as assuming we are constantly visited. The truth may lie somewhere between extremes. Some sightings are undoubtedly misidentified natural or human-made objects. Some reports may involve classified technologies. And perhaps in rare cases, we are glimpsing something that expands our understanding of physics and possibility. Whether UFOs represent extraterrestrial visitors, unknown natural phenomena, advanced human engineering, or something entirely unexpected, the subject continues to evolve. Governments are more transparent than before, though still cautious. Scientists are more willing to investigate without immediate ridicule. Public interest remains strong. In the end, the mystery of ufology mirrors the mystery of existence itself. We are a species driven by curiosity. We explore oceans, continents, and now space. We build telescopes to peer billions of light years away. We send probes beyond our solar system, carrying messages about who we are. Perhaps one day we will receive a reply. Until then, the lights in the sky will continue to inspire questions. Are we alone? The honest answer is that we do not yet know. And perhaps that uncertainty is what makes the search so powerful.